I am starting my third year of business. It's 2025. And I thought it'd be fun to do a video on how I started my freelance business, left my 9 to 5, and made $70,000, a little more than $70,000 my first year in business. And I don't say that to brag. I say it to be like, it is possible for you to quit your job and make either the same amount of money or more working for yourself. And I know that there are probably some of you out there who are in the same position that I was back in 2021, 2022, when I decided I was going to leave my job. So I thought, let's talk about how I did that so you could possibly do the same thing. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. So I was working in corporate America. I had a marketing job. And I just realized no matter what job I had in corporate America, it was never going well. I wasn't someone that would brag about my accomplishments. I thought that my work should speak for itself. And it didn't. I don't kiss ass. I don't play the corporate games. And at the job that I was at the time, there was a lot of nepotism going on. And there's really nothing you can do when your boss has a favorite person and they'll do anything they can to, help that person out and not you. So I was actually on maternity leave with my second child when I saw that a girl that I knew personally that I had grown up with, she was doing virtual assistant services through Instagram. So I would follow her on Instagram and she would post about how she had clients and was doing virtual assistant. And honestly, because I saw her doing it, I was like, oh, if she can do that, I can do that too. And I can be a virtual assistant. I know a lot about marketing. And I can help small businesses, and like, what a dream that would be. So I started an Instagram, me being a VA. I forget what the handle was, like Angie the VA or something like that. And I was watching like TikTok and Instagrams and just like trying to kind of get into this like service provider. How do I get businesses to hire me as a client? Like, how do I even do this thing? And I actually came across a woman called Jenna Warrener on TikTok. I started following her on Instagram, and she had a whole service or platform coaching program where she taught you how to get clients from Instagram. So if you're a service provider, her program is teaching you how to do that. So it was the perfect program. I was like, this is exactly what I need. I need to learn how to get clients from Instagram or somewhere. I loved Instagram as an app. I loved being on it personally. So I knew I felt really comfortable getting on stories and things like that. So I knew I kind of wanted to stay on Instagram and try to get clients from there. The only thing was the program was about $1,000. And just having my second baby, that was a lot of money. That's a lot of money for someone to spend on something, just to learn something and maybe start a business, maybe get work out of it. I didn't know. So I thought about it for a while. I talked with my husband about it. We ended up getting a good tax return that year, and that was the same time that our tax return came back. And I was like, if you don't mind, I'm going to take $1,000 and I'm going to start a business with it. And my husband was like, okay, do it, thankfully, which is kind of crazy. But I felt so sure that like this was the right thing for me and like this is what I wanted to do. I had always wanted to start my own business for years. I never knew what I could do, and this seemed to be kind of the way in for me. So I joined this program with around probably 50 other people were in the program, and part of the program was a weekly group call where we would get on, and the coach Jenna, I'm still in this program actually. Jenna will, critique like one of your Instagram posts or teach you how to write a caption or whatever it is you want her to help you with. You can submit it and she'll help you. Okay. So I joined this program and I submitted stuff. Not everybody who joins these group programs like submits stuff or is willing to, kind of put their stuff out there. I'm kind of someone that isn't afraid of judgment or criticism or whatever. So I would participate. So I got in the program, and I remember like one of the first calls, Jenna was like, okay, so you're a VA. Like, what do you do? Like, what are you going to do for businesses? And I was like, well, I could do kind of anything. And she's like, well, what do you specialize in? And I was like, well, for my corporate job, I do all the emails. And she was like, why are you a VA? Why don't you just be an email marketer for small businesses? And I was like, oh, like, sure. I don't know. I wasn't really confident in my email marketing skills, even though I was running an email marketing account with like 50,000 subscribers at the time. But I was never formally trained on email marketing. I had learned how to do it all myself at the corporate position that I was in. So I kind of felt insecure about it. But I had no reason to, because I was making the company a shit ton of money doing it. So I kind of had a light bulb moment where I was like, okay, I'm not going to be a VA. I'll be an email marketer, and I'll offer email marketing services for small businesses. Once I made that change, there was like 3 or 4 people in the program who like booked a discovery call with me. Just because they saw me and I said that I do email marketing. They were on the call, they were watching, we were all talking. So that's how I got my first discovery calls, and that's how I ended up getting my first clients. And actually, Jenna, who ran the group program, she had a client herself because she also has an agency that does full service Instagram services for people. And she had a client who someone needed email marketing services, specifically in Klaviyo, which is what I specialized in. So she sent them my way. So after a few months of just like being in this program, being present on Instagram, showing up on stories, posting every once in a while, I was back at work at my corporate job. So I was kind of doing it on the side. I ended up getting a few clients, and at the end of that year, I eventually had 3 clients. It was enough to like bring in like $3,500 a month, which at the time I was like, this is all I need. I only need like $3,000 a month to replace my salary. Well, little did I know, I actually needed a lot more to run a business and taxes and all that stuff. But at the time, I didn't really know that. But so that really gave me the confidence to quit. So going into 2023, when I officially launched my business, I had 3 clients. So the networking worked really well for me. And then, I did work, on the weekends and at night while I was doing my 9 to 5 just to build up that client base. And then once I had enough of side work that could carry me, I quit my job. And luckily, eventually, those clients, they started posting about me. They started telling their business friends about me. I kept showing up on Instagram. I stayed in the MMM group. I became part of other networking groups. And that's how I ended up making $70,000 my first year. So I think my highest sales month was probably around 8,800. My lowest sales month was around 3,700. But yeah, word of mouth really, really helped. And my clients, referring me, and now I just kind of live on referrals, which isn't always a good thing, but we'll get into that maybe in another video. But yeah, that's how I started my freelance business, left my 9 to 5, and made $70K my first year. So if you're looking to do the same thing, the biggest piece of advice I would say is to figure out something that you're really highly specialized in that people want and people need. So I know a lot of people do need virtual assistants, and that would have been a fine track for me to go down. But I think because I actually went hard on the email marketing, that was more attractive to small business owners, especially small business owners who had enough money to hire someone. They were looking to expand their email marketing. And email marketing has a really great ROI. I'm able to make my clients money, and I'm able to prove that I can make my clients money through email marketing. So I think because I kind of went in on this very specialized skill, that helped me to get clients fast. And then also networking. So I decided to network virtually, which in joining the program, I didn't really realize that I was networking. But now looking back, obviously that was the case. I was just trying to learn how to get clients on Instagram. But I think that you could also go to events in your area, small business owner events. I think the easiest way to get a sale is either word of mouth. So, like, someone automatically trusts you because their friend trusts you, or meeting someone and having that conversation one to one. People are more likely to trust you. So I would go to in-person networking events, or you can join programs online. You can join networking groups online. I'm sure there's plenty that don't cost $1,000, and maybe that's not for you, but I would find that, and then that's how you're gonna probably get your first clients, and that's how you could probably get clients a lot quicker than maybe just like posting on Instagram or posting on TikTok, or especially when your audience is smaller and you're still growing that. And yeah, so those are the two biggest pieces of advice that I would give. And then I would also invest in coaching, because I think one reason why I've been able to keep growing my business is because I learned, how to sell. I learned how to create offers, how to create services, and that people need and want, how to handle clients, how to have boundaries with clients. There's all these things that come up with working for yourself, that you don't really realize are going to come up when you first start. So I think having that support of a coach, who can help you navigate these like crazy instances or crazy things that you'll have to deal with and take care of with clients and things like that, that's really been a game changer for me as well. So yeah, if you're sitting at your 9 to 5 and you're super unhappy and you've always wanted to work for yourself, you want more flexibility for yourself, I think being a service provider, an online service provider for small businesses, honestly, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. I would do it over and over again. And I'm so happy that I get to serve small businesses in this way. Reach out to me if you have any questions, if you want any advice, here for you, and let me know if you have any more questions pertaining to how to start your freelance business, how to leave your 9 to 5, and how to make enough money to support you and your family in your first year.